Welcome to CN Movies, the show where we review movies but from a Christian's perspective. I am the filmmaker.
And I'm the film watcher.
And today we're reviewing Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. And a fun fact before we get started. If you look at all of the titles of the movies, as it goes from Sorcerer's Stone to Deathly Hallows Part 2, each title gets less gold and less shiny and gets more darker, grittier, and like
deteriorates.
Yeah, dirtier, it deteriorates, it's rugged. I just didn't know if you knew that. It's a fun fact I found out.
That.
While we were watching Chamber, I found that out. I was reading something.
Diagonally. What did he say, dear?
Diagonally.
I thought he did.
The first category is story.
Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Cars fly, trees fight back, and the house elf becomes... a house elf comes with a warning for Harry at the start of his second year. Adventure and danger await when bloody writing on a wall announces the Chamber of Secrets has been opened. To save Hogwarts will require all of Harry, Ron, and Hermione's magical abilities and courage.
Yes. So, I know you have better things to say about this movie, so you can go first.
I really don't have better things. I thought it was kind of interesting because there was a couple of plot twists that you might not have seen, especially if you're a kid. You're not going to think that Ginny was the one opening the chamber.
Yeah.
Or that,
even though they pinned it on Hagrid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that was a plot twist that was decent. Or that the diary was doing anything. Like, that was interesting to show how a diary could be alive.
I think
using magic.
One thing I did like is at the beginning of the movie. Is this the one where they go into the fireplace and drop the powder and they...
Yeah.
What is that called? You remember?
Flue powder?
Flue powder.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does that do again? You have to say a certain word, right?
You have to say the word of where you're going.
Yes. And Harry Potter said it wrong, and he slid through underneath something and went to the wrong place.
He went diagonally.
Of course, that didn't apply anywhere later in the movie, and it never applies again, at least through the first...
They use flue powder again.
They do in a later movie? Oh, okay.
And he goes to...
You don't have to tell me
okay.
what they... No, that's fine.
Just
talk about Chamber of Secrets.
Connect.
Yeah, just like they don't use flue powder again in Chamber of Secrets, so it's kind of like disappointing. I thought they were going to do it again later. Like maybe him and Voldemort just have like a flue powder battle. Like
where they just jump from
it's like just like the movie Jumper, and they just keep dropping flue powder and staying places. And one time Voldemort says something wrong and ends up in in a volcano. That'd been pretty sweet. Anyways, so I didn't like this movie. End of review. But
it was very long and not much happened.
My gosh, it was. Does it say on here how long it was? Like 3 hours long, you guys. This movie was longer than Sorcerer's Stone, and Sorcerer's Stone didn't have much going on to begin with. But that movie's more enjoyable. But anyways, so Chamber of Secrets does get to the point of the film sooner, but because they did that and it's 3 hours long, they then, after they get to the point of the movie, which is the Chamber of Secrets, they then drag on finding the Chamber of Secrets forever.
Well, no one's known where the Chamber of Secrets was for thousands
I know,
of years.
but in Sorcerer's Stone, you don't hear about the Sorcerer's Stone until it becomes relevant in the story. When you hear about Sorcerer's Stone, all of a sudden, okay, now it's a relevant thing. Like, it was halfway through the movie, I believe. But in Chamber of Secrets, you hear about the Chamber of Secrets pretty early on, and then you're like, okay, let's find the Chamber of Secrets. Let's actually look for it. And then no, it's just kind of let's just hang out until the school year's almost done. Let's solve the mystery. Every single movie is what I'm guessing. Let's just wait until Christmas has passed. I think it's the Sadie Hawkins dance is already done. Okay, let's go find the Chamber of Secrets. It's just why wait? Anyways, so the movie drags on and is way too long. Could have been 45 minutes to an hour shorter easily. They could have cut out. I don't care about the book. Talking about for the movie, they could have cut out 45 minutes of this movie to an hour of this movie, and it would have been a much tighter, better movie. It would just been a much better movie because there was a lot of things in here that could have been great if there wasn't so much dead time in between them.
Yes, I see your point.
Yes. Well, as somebody who hasn't read the books, this is my opinion of the movie.
Yeah, the books are. In
book form, it's okay to have all the extra stuff because you are engrossed.
Yeah.
And you're not reading it all in one take. I guess I could pause the movie, but that's ridiculous. You're supposed to be able to watch a movie all in one shot. You shouldn't have to pause a movie like you're reading a book. So, or a TV. If it was a TV series, if Harry Potter did each movie as a season of a TV series, a lot less special effects, but they could have dragged it on. It would have been terrible 22 episodes. There's nothing really happening, but they could have done it. Anyways, I think Harry Potter versus young Voldemort, because young Voldemort is in this movie, which I guess was really in characters, but he's what's his name?
Tom Riddle.
Tom Riddle. Harry Potter versus Tom Riddle would have made for a better climax.
Him fighting the basilisk was probably the best part of the movie.
I don't care about the stupid snake. The snake is not a character I care about. I don't care about the snake.
He's scary.
I don't care about the snake. They didn't set anything up for the snake. He just ends up being a monster Harry Potter has to overcome.
Yeah.
Because we needed a climax at the end of the school season. Though I think my favorite part of the movie, and I didn't put it on here, my favorite part of the movie is when Dumbledore announces that all exams are canceled. That was the best part of the movie.
Well, several people almost died, okay?
So all exams are canceled, and apparently she's already told me that in other movies she never cancels any more exams.
I don't think so.
You know what? The flippin' Goblet of Fire happens. What? The Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, Deathly Hallows. But this is the movie where the exams get canceled, the Chamber of Secrets. So, you know. Anyways, I get the story. Oh, and the CGI is better.
Yeah.
It was just better here. Whether they actually better effects or not, I don't know. But it was not. They did not linger on CGI people or anything, so it wasn't obvious if it was bad. But anyway, CGI seemed to be better. Anyway, I give the story a 4 out of 15.
I gave it a 10.
Out of 15, you are a terrible person, and you need to go pray for redemption.
Diagonally. What did he say, dear?
Diagonally.
I thought he did.
The next category is characters. I put
Yeah.
that Lockhart is very annoying.
Who's
Like,
Lockhart again?
The blonde-haired Defense Against Dark Arts teacher.
Oh, the new. Okay, so
He's all
apparently,
full of himself.
if you haven't watched these movies before, in every single movie, what you've told me, there's a new dark arts teacher in every single film. Defensive dark arts. So knowing that leads me to always suspect that they're up to something in every single movie.
They're not always.
In this movie, he wasn't up to anything. He was just an idiot.
Yes.
He was just an idiot who pretended to be bigger than what he really was.
He was really annoying.
I was suspecting something, though. In the first movie, I had no idea
Yeah.
that Towelhead guy had Voldemort in the back of his head or whatever, you know? But in this movie, I suspect he was up to something. He wasn't up to anything.
He's just annoying.
I forgot to mention this in story, and I guess... But now I'm looking at the back of the box. When they were in the car at the very beginning of the film, Ron and Harry, I thought that was a better way of entering Hogwarts than just being on the train again.
Yeah.
Because I know in the other movies they're just back on the train. But in this movie, they missed the train.
Well, there's a couple more interesting entrances. but-
Well,
No,
as
actually,
far as I'm aware.
No, actually, they always take the train, but
Yeah. In
That's
this movie,
the
they
thing.
missed the train, so I thought it was interesting. But Harry Weasley and Hermione, Emma Watson are all better characters and actors. Like, their characters are better. Harry's pretty much the same, but I think it's because they're all better actors. Probably because they had some experience under their belt at this point. That they felt like better characters.
Yeah.
So even they could have been exactly the same, but they just felt better. Hermione was not annoying this time. Yeah.
she still was the know-it-all and the smart one.
Yes, but she wasn't annoying.
Yeah.
Which is the difference. Yeah. I said Hagrid is less lovable and less fun. I think I don't know. Like in the first movie, I guess he had more screen time. Is probably what it was.
Probably.
And then here.
Well,
he
and
didn't.
in this one, he gets framed for possibly being the one to open it and
Yeah.
stuff. I don't know.
No, and Snape is less interesting.
Well, he's hardly in this one too.
Snape is hardly in this movie, which is probably why he's less interesting. But that's a huge negative. Snape should not ever be a small part of this movie.
I really like how he loves Snape so much.
Snape is the best character. Snape. We already went over this. Snape, Susan, and
You gotta get over Susan.
no, Snape and Susan need
Yeah.
to have their own. Like Snape could be Susan's father. That would be okay. We don't even have to wait for her to become of age. We could just do the movie right now. Susan can be whatever age. He could just be her father, like her stepfather. He could be her stepfather.
Alan Rickman's dead.
Well, okay. Let's go back in time and make Alan Rickman the stepfather of Susan for a sitcom. Let's do it, people. Get working on it. That's what we're going to use our time machine for. Not to do anything significant or see Jesus or stop Hitler and nothing like that. We're going to go back and make sure Alan Rickman and Susan have a sitcom. That's our goal. And do you have anything else to add on characters? Draco?
Yeah, I said you got to know Draco a little bit more and understand more of his backstory. So he's not just the jerk
I
that's...
just don't care about him.
Well, he's more important later, but...
I will say his role in the movie Risen is interesting, but we'll get there when we get there.
Yes.
But for characters, I gave it a 5 out of 10.
I gave it a 7.
My mostly that 5 derives from Snape being not in the movie as much. Had he been like the focus of the movie, it could have been 11 out of 10. Needs a sequel.
Diagonally. What did he say, dear?
Diagonally.
I thought he did.
The next category is music. Okay, I think we pretty much have the same notes, different scores, but go ahead with your notes.
Well, it's the same theme music. It hasn't really changed much, but it's good.
It's pretty much the same exact music. I want to point out this is the same exact director as last time, so the movie feels exactly the same as Sorcerer's Stone. So if you really like Sorcerer's Stone, then you really like Chamber of Secrets, because it's the same exact director with his bland directing and just everything about, he doesn't, I feel like he just like took the book and then put his camera on the book. Like that's what I know it's not how it worked, but it feels like he just like flipped pages with his camera, and that's how the movie happened, because he didn't do anything original or different. It was just the book in movie form. I haven't read the book, but I can tell by watching that that's what happened.
Pretty similar, yeah.
Yeah. And I said the same thing you did. Music just does its job when it is needed. Nothing memorable. I'll probably get used to the Harry Potter theme here. It might get memorable eventually, but right now it's not. The music during the Quidditch match was too low. Like, it was, like, really low in parts. Like, really, like, they should have just like, the music should have been louder, but it was so, like, soft in some places. During Quidditch, it didn't make any sense. And it was the times they were doing it, too. Like, Harry Potter, like, is, like, having the ball chase, and the ball's going through all those,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those things, and the music's, like, really low, and you're like, the music should be intensifying here, not getting... This isn't like Chronicles. The music should not be going quiet. Everything should be going quiet if we're going to do that. But I don't know, it was just weird. Like, the editing, something was wrong with the editing on the music. Or unless that was on purpose. Still, something's wrong. Anyways, I gave the music a 4 out of 10.
I gave it 8.
I think you have lower standards.
I think I should have probably done less. But, I mean, it's still good music.
Considering that nothing new was
I like
added.
the music, that's why I put 8. But, yeah, it's nothing new, I guess.
Yeah.
Diagonally. What did he say, dear?
Diagonally.
I thought he did.
Our last category is Christian nutritional value. Friendship is important. That's the plus, maybe a negative. I don't know. And then the negative is bloody hell was used multiple times. And it's all about witchcraft and wizardry. And there's really nothing in Christian nutritional value in the Harry Potter movies so far that I can tell. The last movie had a little bit more because I was looking for it, but this time I wasn't even like looking as hard for it. And just,
I
mean,
thought that
there wasn't really anything there.
the Christian nutritional value of this one is definitely loyalty. Harry and his friends still believe in Hagrid even when he gets framed, and
I can give you that.
they stay loyal to him. Harry stays loyal to Dumbledore even though he gets like accused and taken away as being
Maybe
the
Harry's
head
just an
master.
idiot. He's being
No,
loyal to
because
everybody.
he trusts people. He doesn't trust Snape, and he doesn't trust Draco. And
Who
stuff.
doesn't trust Snape?
Harry.
Apparently in Goblet of Fire, I mean, not that I've seen it, but I have, we find out something huge about Snape that we didn't know before. So how do you not just trust Snape? Snape is
Anyways.
awesome. Oh my gosh. I wish we could have got a prequel series on Snape.
There's also the aspect of how lying and cheating doesn't get you anywhere. With Lockhart, he finally gets his dues in the end.
I mean, kind of. Yeah.
And also
he
when
just gets fired is mostly what happens.
well, I'm just saying that there was kind of a theme. 'Cause
Yeah.
that happened with him, and then it also happened with Tom Riddle when he frames Hagrid, and because he wants to say. Anyways, I'm not going to.
You might want to explain to them how even Tom Riddle, aka Young Voldemort's in this movie. How does that work? Why do we see Young Voldemort?
Because he trapped part of himself basically in a diary, like an enchanted diary, and the diary gets slipped into Ginny Weasley's book box or bucket, and she takes
so
it
a
to
human
school
comes
with
out
her.
of a diary?
It's part of Tom Riddle. He's not a human. He's like a ghost, kind of, but not really a ghost.
Okay, you're just helping my score. But go ahead. What were you saying?
Anyways, when he tries to trick Hagrid, his goal was to like ruin Hagrid and promote himself, but Hagrid is still part of Hogwarts years later. It doesn't really ruin Hagrid's reputation or anything.
Yeah,
like that.
no. I mean, I think people pretty much know Hagrid is Hagrid, and like he's not hiding anything like Snape is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I did put a negative that Harry and his friends are constantly breaking school rules.
Constantly, like no
Constantly
regard for the
breaking the rules.
school rules.
And they never get in trouble.
Their new student orientation meant
But
nothing
they
to
save
them in
the
first
world,
movie.
so.
Oh, okay.
They save the school.
You think that's like every movie? They're just gonna be like, look, we can break the rules as long as we just save somebody. Like, and it'll be good, and exams will get canceled. All right, we don't have to go to class anymore. Anyway, so my final score for Christian nutritional value was a 2 out of 15. I would give it a 3 because you did make the good point of Harry's loyalty, but that wasn't really like.
It's okay. I made up for it by giving it a 7 out of 15.
7. That's not. Ugh.
Diagonally. What did he say, dear?
Diagonally.
I thought he did.
Our final score for Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is a 47 out of 100, and we double checked our numbers, so that should be right. 47 out of 100, and it's worse than Sorcerer's Stone. I think Sorcerer's Stone kind of benefited from not introducing the main point of the movie until later, so it did all the world building like you had mentioned.
Well, this
and-
one is like it's still trying to do world building, but with
it has other things going on. Then in your mind, you're like, when are they gonna do this? When are
Yeah.
you know, how come? Where's Snape at? Like, what is he doing right now?
maybe for a kid they wouldn't care as
Like,
much.
is Snape
but-
on the crapper right now while everyone else is doing this? Like, what is Snape up to? Like, could we just have like a follow Snape like feed on the bottom of the movie? Like, I just want like a little camera that follows Snape the entire time. Like, what is like Harry's like at like lunch eating, and we see Snape. Snape's like, you know, like messing around with potions or something, or disciplining somebody. I don't know. I just want a Snape camera. Snape cam.
Anyways.
Hashtag Snape cam.
Yes, these movies
Yeah.
I don't think are good for young kids for the multiple reasons
No.
that we've mentioned.
No, there's so much you have to explain. But you know, if you're a bad parent, you can just show it to them and not explain anything.
Sure.
Yeah,
just go ahead
sure.
and
Do whatever
be-
you want. I'm just saying. But yes, I'm just saying story-wise, it wasn't as good as Sorcerer. I think.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not even talking about Christian nutritional value anymore. Just the story wasn't as good. The characters were better. The music was the same. Story was worse. Christian nutritional value was worse, in my opinion. But stay tuned as next time we put on our Christmas hats and review The Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
Chris me?
The Grinch Who Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey.
There you go.
Didn't he do another Christmas movie? Christmas Carol?
Oh yeah, he
That's not a hint. We're not reviewing that one this
No.
month. But wow, he's done two two huge characters. But yes, we're reviewing The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, starring Jim Carrey. So stay tuned and subscribe, and bye.